Very, very funny. I saw ZANU PF people on the TV disputing and casting away and rebutting our suspicions that they are the ones who murdered Moreblessing Ali. They said this guy, what's his name, who was arrested in connection with that murder? I can't remember. They said they were having a relationship.
Yes.
ZimPF is saying, to as much as we know, Moreblessing Ali was in a relationship with this guy.
Pius Jamba.
Pius Jamba, yes. And so ZimPF is saying Pius Jamba was boyfriend to Moreblessing Ali.
Yes.
So they are saying, no, ZimPF doesn't abduct people. These people are using an unfortunate event for political gain. They are politicizing something that has no connection with the politics. I want to say something. I don't know what our people think. Because I presume that if somebody wants to open his mouth, he must consider his congregation. He must consider the mindset of those who are listening to him. And I will not stop talking about this because it bothers us. Ziklag, you may not understand God's interest in these things, but I understand them.
Yes.
When somebody loses his life in the hands of a murderer, God is unsettled by that. God finds that very, very abhorrible. It's an abomination. Murder is an abomination. Murder is an abomination.
Yes.
God does not accept that.
Yes.
We become a filthy people. So I was wondering how come ZANU PF knows Moreblessing Ali's boyfriend. If they can answer me that question, I want to know. How does, because there's this guy, what's his name? This guy who is in South Africa, who is ZANU PF representative in South Africa. What's his name? The name is eluding me, but I will tell you the name of this guy. So he was saying, as far as we know, Moreblessing Ali and Pius Jamba were dating. And I want to understand how, in the same statement, they were also saying we could not have murdered Moreblessing Ali because she was not popular. Nobody knew about her. You see, she was a political non-entity. She was a non-event. She's not important. If we want to kill people, we can't kill Moreblessing Ali because she's not a senior political activist. And I was trying to match these two things. Moreblessing Ali, nobody knows about her. She's a political non-entity. But ZANU PF knows her relationship with the Pius Jamba. How do these two match?
Yeah.
By trying to say Pius Jamba and Moreblessing Ali were dating, ZANU PF is admitting that they were stalking her. And if ZANU PF is very sure that Pius Jamba and Moreblessing Ali were dating, they can't just say they were dating. They must prove that. Prove that they were dating. Show us the evidence. Surely in this earth, nobody who is in his right mind can trust anything that is said by ZANU PF. Hakuna munhu akakuwa nanga trust izvi zvinotaurwa naMnangagwa kana naChiwenga kana nani zvake we ZANU PF. Handiti muri kuona?
Yes.
A few days ago vaitaura kuti tiri kutswanya triple C pamaby elections senda vachibva vakundwa havana kubvuma kuti takundwa vakati no at least tatoro 2 masitsi kubva kuMDC after all tahwina. You don't understand.
Yeah.
So let's be very honest. There is no reason to trust ZANU PF. Even when the MDC started, they were saying this party is not going anywhere. We are not moved by the formation of MDC. If Changirai wants to start a political party, let him start a political party. And Changirai started the MDC. After a few months, they saw that they lost in the referendum. They started throwing the puppet of the West card. Changirai is a puppet of the West. If we tell them today that they are a puppet of China, they will say, where are you getting that?
Yeah.
Because they are supported by China and they are getting millions of money to campaign from China. If Changirai gets money from America, he is selling out. But they are getting money from China. They are not selling out. That is absolute hypocrisy. They have no right to say MDC is sponsored by the West. They have no right to say that. The money that MDC may have gotten from the West is far little than the huge millions of dollars they got from China themselves. Are they saying China is a better buyer for Zimbabwe? That can be a question. But it's something that I would continue to talk about. The Lord is not happy. The disappearance and the murder of Zimbabweans is absolutely outrageous. Anyone who is not moved and fazed by these things is not a Zimbabwean citizen. He is not a person with a pure interest in the development of our nation.
Yes.
A country that is not safe to live is also not safe to invest.
Yes.
They can't blame sanctions for the meltdown of our economy.
Yes.
They are shooting themselves in the foot. If Zimbabweans are not safe in Zimbabwe, how can foreigners be safe in a country where the bona fide citizens are not safe? But I want to say something also. I gave a prophecy about what God is saying about Zimbabwe. It's there. I'm not going to talk about it. I'm still looking at what they are trying to do to dispel what is happening. ZANU PF cannot tell people that Moreblessing Ali was murdered by her boyfriend. No, we can't believe that. If ZANU PF is seriously committed to this defense, that it's not ZANU PF, it's a relationship that turned sour, then at least they have started to respond to murders. Let them tell us who killed Mboneni Ncube. Was Mboneni Ncube murdered by his girlfriend? Let them tell us who killed Tondera Indira. Let them tell us who killed Rashwe Guja. Let them tell us who killed innocent Chiminya and Talent Mabika. Let them tell us if they were murdered by their boyfriends and girlfriends. What kind of nonsense is this? ZANU PF is known for violence, for murders and atrocities, where the Moreblessing people killed by their spouses. Women who died in the Guguraundi were they murdered by their boyfriends. Let them respond. Let us hear their side of the story. Let them tell us that they were not involved in the Lenmo Jongwe saga where he ended up killing his wife. Let them tell us that. Let them tell us that they didn't kill Moven Mahash. Let them tell us. Some of us, we know some of these things. They killed even their own people. Who killed General Gunda? General Gunda was killed. Everybody knows about it. This is not a secret. Yes. Right now I know because I spoke to the investigator who was hired by Joyce Mjuru to investigate the death of General Solomon Mjuru. As I talk right now, Joyce Mjuru applied to the Ministry of Home Affairs for a certificate of exhumation. She had hired private forensic investigators from South Africa who were going to do a pathological examination on on General Mjuru's body. And the court gave her an order to compel the Ministry of Home Affairs that Joyce Mjuru should be allowed to receive a certificate of exhumation to exhume Solomon Mjuru's body so that they can determine what killed him. There is a pathologist right now who wrote a report that Solomon Mjuru died before he was burned by that fire. They never acknowledged that report. We know of these things. I spoke to that investigator. We were hiring him because we wanted to investigate the murder of our brother, Eugene Kanyushi. And he told us, I can't do this investigation. I already have an issue right now because your matter is going to require that you exhume Eugene Kanyushi's body to determine what you are saying. They will never allow it because they have an issue right now. They are sitting on a high court order. A court ordered the exhumation of Solomon Mjuru. ZANU PF stopped it from happening until Joyce Mjuru decided to let it go. Let them say I'm lying. Let them say it. I know it happened. So this is not right. How can a political party, before investigations are completed, the court has not yet said to interrogate and to prosecute Pius Jamba? ZANU PF is already saying this man murdered his girlfriend. Is this not a sub judice? A matter that is before the courts. A political institution cannot try to influence the determination of the court by casting aspersions and conspiracy theories as to what killed Moreblessing Ali.
Yes.
What they are saying about the murder of Moreblessing Ali, it should have come from the court proceedings. The court is going to put Pius Jamba in trial, on trial, and they are going to interrogate him. They are going to cross-examine him. And they are going to ask him why he killed Moreblessing Ali. We know that nobody can just decide to kill his girlfriend, who happens to be an activist from a political party that has lost several of his party members to these murders. Huh? After Moreblessing Ali died, they killed another person in Zengeza again. What's his name? Mr. Chinembi. What about Langelihle Dube? Was he murdered by his girlfriend? How does ZANU PF know that Moreblessing Ali and Pius Jamba were dating? Huh? Unless they send Pius Jamba to date Moreblessing Ali so that Pius Jamba can have access to her and kill her, in which case they are still guilty of killing Moreblessing Ali. Yes, they are still guilty of that. Can you imagine? Kuti musangano wenyika, the ruling party knows my relationships. Evanhu vari mulocation. Zangana vanotumwa kutaura nonsense dzakadaro. Unoshanda ari mukadzi here. It's amazing. It's amazing. How can you say such nonsense on a television interview? Is this the time to defend ZANU PF and say CCC is using the death of Moreblessing Ali to politic? If that was the case, then our question is, apparently the police have enough men and enough fuel and enough trucks to send to Moreblessing Ali's house to scatter mourners simply because they belong to an opposition party. The same people never showed up to help the Ali family to look for more blessing. Where was the police when the CCC were searching for Moreblessing Ali and their family? Where was the police? Since when does the police write a report before the accused has been arrested to say the police believes that Pius Jambo, boyfriend to Moreblessing Ali, he is the murderer? What kind of police work is that? What kind of a criminal procedure is that? Where is it written in the Police Act chapter 11:10? Where is it? Where is it written in the Criminal Law Codification and Reform Act? Where is it written in the CP&E Act? Where is it? The police cannot write a report that says somebody is guilty of something without providing evidence. The language that the police uses is, we have a prime suspect. Mr. So-and-so is a suspect in connection with the murder case. Not to be definitive before the suspect is arrested. How do you say? How do you do that?
Yeah.
What is the basis for that allegation? What kind of police work is that? The police brings the suspects to court. It is not the duty of the police to tell the people who actually did what. The police is only going to say, we have reasons to suspect this person. Our investigating officers come up with evidence A, B, and E. These are the evidence we have gathered that point to this person committing the crime. But the court of law must come to a verdict. Without any reasonable doubt, Pius Jambo is the sole person responsible for the death of Moreblessing Ali. Number one, he was not sent by anyone else. Number two, he was not working in cahoots with other people. Number three, these were his reasons for committing this crime. Yes. For a crime to be called a crime, there has to be actus reus and mens reus. Commission of a crime and reason to commit a crime. If you can't prove reason to commit a crime, it's not a crime. What are the reasons for Pius Jambo in murdering Moreblessing Ali? People in a relationship, they fight. They don't kill each other.
Yes.
They don't mutilate each other's body and put intestines in a paper bag. They don't dump the body in a place, in a yard that belongs to a ZANU PF member. Those things does not happen. They don't dump the bodies of a dead person in a property belonging to a family that is known for terrorizing people in a local area. If this is what our police are doing, then we don't have professional police officers. The report that was released by Paul Tembanyati is an embarrassment for a report like that to come from a senior police officer like Paul Tembanyati. It's embarrassing, including that report from the provincial police officer. I don't know what his name is right now. Police do not produce such kind of reports. It's unprofessional. It's just like the report they released after we got involved in the 12 June accident, 2019. Before they spoke to our next of kin, they had already released their report. Apostle Chiwenga has been involved in an accident. We suspect the driver was not careful. What kind of suspicion do you get in 4 hours? What kind of an investigation do you do in 4 hours, within 4 hours? They forgot to tell the people that they had killed Eugene Kanyuchi on the way to the hospital. And now we got involved in the second accident. It is because their people died. They forgot to write a report. Until today, the 14 July accident was not reported by the so-called professional police officers. We got involved in a second accident. 3 people died, just like in the first accident. Up to this afternoon,
Yes.
there is no report from the police. Our professional police, the long arm of the law.
Yeah.
That's not police work. That is not police work. In as much as they are going to say Moreblessing Ali was murdered by a boyfriend, they are incriminating themselves. They have to tell the people of Zimbabwe how they came to know Moreblessing's intimate relationships. Because Moreblessing Ali's family is saying this Pius Jambo is as old as Moreblessing Ali's son. He could not have been in a relationship with Moreblessing Ali. What are they going to say? Are they going to prove to the court that they knew Moreblessing Ali more than their relatives? It's embarrassing. It's embarrassing.
It is.
It's embarrassing. People are taken to court as suspects. The police cannot be definitive beyond any reasonable doubt. Pius Jambo is the one who made that Moreblessing Ali. The police cannot come to that conclusion. If this is what they have done, then they are jeopardizing the case at court. They can't be the spokesperson of the police. They can't tell the people of Zimbabwe that it is Pius Jambo who killed Moreblessing Ali. The ZANU PF spokesperson also spokesperson for the police. If ZANU PF was a professional political party, they were supposed to say, the police are doing their investigations. When the police have completed their investigations, the police are going to communicate to the nation of Zimbabwe who is their suspects and what are the bases of that suspicion. As a political party, we are sorry, we sympathize with the Moreblessing Ali. They are the ones in the forefront of saying Pius Jambo is the criminal. How do they know? Was ZANU PF present when Pius Jambo was murdering Moreblessing Ali? These are questions that they can answer. They should answer if they want to be responsible. ZANU PF has no business in this matter. They can't communicate to the nation of Zimbabwe that Pius Jambo murdered single-handedly Moreblessing Ali and mutilated a body, dumped it in a ZANU PF property, a property belonging to a ZANU PF member. It's not professional. The CCC is enraged. They are allowed to say whatever they are saying. And they have every right to suspect ZANU PF, because ZANU PF, when everything dies, including cats, ZANU PF is the prime suspect. When rodents die, it is ZANU PF. When pigs die, it is ZANU PF. They have made that their own political members. What about opposition party members? They've done that a long time ago. I was in Zakajerera in 2008, 2009. I lived with the soldiers who were killing people in Zakajerera. I saw things with my own eyes. There was a military commander called Keno Mayoyo. He killed so many people in Zakajerera. I can say this anyway. If they take me to court, I can speak it out. I saw it. I saw it happening. So we are not speaking things that we don't know, Pastor Eren. Some of these things were done Takatarisa. Yes, telling the truth. I worked for this government, so some of these things I saw them happening with my own eyes. Was there not bodies exhumed from a dam in Marondera, which were dumped by ZANU PF in 2009? There were bodies found in a dam. Yes, many bodies were found in Marondera of MDC members who were murdered and dumped in a dam in Marondera. It never appeared on any news. Go to Chitunguiza Hospital, they dumped bodies there. And mortuary attendants know what I'm talking about in 2009. These are things that we saw happening. They are killers, these guys. And they have no credibility for them to say, no, we didn't do it. They killed Moreblessing Ali. We can say that definitively. It is their burden to prove that they are not involved. Yes, it is their burden. Let them prove that Pius Jambo is not a supporter of ZANU PF. Why did they not dispute what Jim Kunaka said before Kalema Motlante in the Motlante Commission? He swore this guy, Jim Gunaga. And he said, we beat up people, we killed people, we took orders from ZANU PF. Why is it that to this day, they have not arrested Jim Gunaga for lying before a commission of inquiry? The soldiers which shot at our people in Harare, were they boyfriends of those people and girlfriends in army uniform? Don't we know that soldiers shot our people in Harare? Let ZANU PF say that those soldiers killed their girlfriends and boyfriends in Harare. Let them say it. Let them tell us that Dr. Magombe was abducted by his girlfriend. Let them tell us that the MDC women were abducted by their boyfriends. Let them say that Itai Zamara was abducted by his wife. Let us hear them saying that. Why would they find the energy to come on television to defend the death of one person and ignore everyone else they have murdered before? Why couldn't they say we didn't abduct Itai Zamara? Why were they quiet? That is not right. That is not right. So we are going to speak about these things for as long as we live. God hates murderers, and God's anger, I can feel it myself. He abhors murderers.
Yes.
If you are working for the government of Zimbabwe, you are bringing a cursed salary to your family. Everyone who fears God must resign from working for the Zimbabwean government because it is a cursed government. Civil disobedience is not a crime. If you are related to those ZANU PF people who are coming on television trying to defend ZANU PF, that they are not the ones who murdered Moreblessing Ali, call your relative and tell him that he's embarrassing your generation. You can't defend a snake and prove that it is a bird. It's impossible. ZANU PF is a blood-sucking vampire. It thrives on people's death and spilling of blood. Tell me one election since 1980 that ended without someone dying. Tell me one election. They kill people every election. It's a ritual. They need to see blood for them to go into office. That is not acceptable. We are going to need people who are responsible, who are going to commit themselves that no Zimbabwean citizen shall die because of an election. No Zimbabwean citizen must beat another citizen in the name of a political party. Until that happens, you are going to need to contend with a God-given case. Zimbabwe is cursed.
Yes.
If you look at Mr. Mnangagwa, you can see in his eyes that Zimbabweans do not matter to him. He is a cold-blooded murderer. If he looks at us, he doesn't see people. He sees us like chickens.
Yes.
He can slaughter us anytime. There is no humanity in him at all. And his deputy, Mr. Chiwenga, they have lost a human conscience a long time ago. If they kill, they don't feel anything. They don't have a conscience. We don't need such kind of people in those kinds of offices.
Yes.
It's dangerous. Apana zvavanogona kuitwa varume vava kuti vave vanhu. They saw blood shedding. They've been involved in shedding of blood for as long as they were in ZANU PF.
Yes.
Before independence, they had already started killing until now. If they kill me, they will feel nothing. If they kill Moreblessing Ali, they will feel nothing. We don't need those kind of people. We need people as leaders. We don't need animals as leaders. If he was a human being, Mr. Mnangagwa, he should have been the first one to send a condolence message to the Ali family. If he was a human being, he should have driven to the Ali home to sympathize with Moreblessing Ali's family, to promise them justice. We should have seen the president, the vice president, the minister of home affairs, the commissioner general of police. We should have seen them at Moreblessing Ali's house, promising them that with the arm of the law is going to do whatever they can to bring justice to Moreblessing Ali. They never did that. They never commented after not doing all that to show sympathy, to show responsibility. That's what a president actually does.
Yes.
Look at what Ramaphosa does. Look at what Joe Biden does. They are there to show compassion, to show sympathy, to support a grieving family. Yes. Instead of doing that, they send the police with the baton sticks to go and beat Moreblessing Ali family members simply because they belong to an opposition party. What human being does that? Tell me, what kind of a human being does that? People are mourning the death of Moreblessing Ali. They are also wounded by the police. They did nothing. They just had visitors who are coming to support them. And you say we have a first lady. Which first lady? There's no first lady in Zimbabwe. They are just the same. If Auxilia was a woman, if she was a human being, she should have gone to Itai Dzamara's wife a long time ago. We should have seen her in Glenora sympathizing with Itai Dzamara's wife. We should have seen her today holding Moreblessing Ali's children. That's what a mother does. Vana va Moreblessing Ali vangadai vakachema vari mumaoko mama Mnangagwa. Dai vari mother of the nation. Zimbabwe, we are going to ask God to send strong men to deliver us from animals and psychopaths. Dai taidedzi wana president ndo zvinhu zvataiva izvi. Mangwana motomuka muchienda kuchitungwisa.
Yes.
Ndo advice atinokupai.
Yes.
Kana musirimi makauraya Moreblessing Ali, puruvai kuti hamusirimi nekuratidza rudo.
Yes.
Saka ndi president wani kana vanhu vake vachifa vachifirwa asingaende kumariro avo. Ndi president wani Mnangagwa? Ndi president wa Auxilia kana vana vake? Vanhu vari kuchitungwiza havana president. Vanhu vari kuhaifridza havana president. Hakuna president akadaro. Zvandiri kutaura izvi, Mutende ambofa akazvitaura, Guta ambofa akazvitaura, Magaya ambofa akazvitaura, Makandiwa ambofa akazvitaura, Manhango ambofa akazvitaura.
Yes.
Zvinotaurwa neni nekuti ndakatumwa naMwari. Avakatumwa nematumbu avo nenzara. Kuti handita nechikwereti chehurumende chemari yaakatora iye zvikwereti.
Yeah.
Zviroto zvakaita munhu womwari izvozvo. Unoti uchisvika kustatus wobva wanzi sekuru mari ichauya rini? Unobva watodhailutwa. Handichiri kutsvaga. Saka mamavingei nhasi kuti hapana ndanda kuuya kuzokuona. Ungatsiure munhu wauye nechikwereti chake. Iko kutanga rini iko chechi chiita chikwereti chehurumende? Kutanga rini? Since when do churches owe the government?
Yeah.
How do church leaders borrow from government loans? Since when does a church borrow from the government? What kind of a church is that? What do you feel when you hear me addressing matters that the whole world is very afraid to address, especially when I address political issues? Do you like it? Do you benefit? Are you edified? Are you strengthened when you hear us talking things that we know people don't like us to talk about. When I talk about Moreblessing Ali, what happens to you? How do you feel? Do you feel that I'm still doing my job as a servant of God? Or you think that I'm crossing my boundaries as a man of God? When we do these things, we are very aware that we are going to put our lives in danger.
Yes.
Because people have died for speaking out.
Yes.
But if we don't speak out because of fear, it means we are worshiping a weak God who is also afraid of these people that are feared.
Yes.
My God is not a Zimbabwean. My God is not a citizen of Zimbabwe.
Yes.
My God is not obliged to obey the laws of Zimbabwe.
Yes.
My God is not afraid of the Zimbabwean army,
Yes.
the police, and the intelligence. So if I represent that kind of a God, I must have the attitude of the one who sent me and not behave like everyone who is afraid.
Yes.
We are going to talk when God instructs us to talk. But I wanted to know, how do you feel? Do you think that it's part of our job as ministers? When people are butchered in broad daylight, we stand up and we say it is wrong. We condemn those who have done it. We mention their names. We don't speak in proverbs and idioms. We don't use a proverbial language or parabolic language. There are people who are killing people in this land. They must stop. We are warning them. We know their names. We can't mention them. God is not afraid of Mr. Mnangagwa
Yes.
and Mr. Chiwenga. So even if I may be afraid in my own personal capacity, the moment I am sent by God,
Yes.
I speak with the boldness of the one who sent me.
Yes.
God will never say President Mnangagwa. He is not president to God. He is an ordinary sinner with a butcher's heart. That's who he is. What do you feel when I speak like this? Do you panic? I want to let you know that there is nothing that gives me joy than speaking with an open heart and a clear conscience, knowing very well that what I am saying is exactly what God wants me to say. And so one day, if you hear that my body has been found mutilated and my intestines have been put in a plastic bag, you may weep and mourn because of loss, but you should know that I am going to die a very happy man, because I know the God that I'm serving.
Yes.
If there's something that I doubt my age sometimes. Sometimes I doubt my weight. Sometimes I doubt my height. I don't doubt the assignment that God has given me.
Yes.
This is the only thing that I don't doubt.
Yes.
I doubt the genuineness of people who claim to love me, but I don't doubt this assignment. Let me do what I came here to do.
Yes.
If I die, it means my assignment has been finished. I'm not afraid.
Yes.
Not a bit. Kanaka one. What I've gone through, if fear was part of my mind and my heart, I think I should have stopped by now. Don't you think so? Haufunge kuti nekukuvara kwese kwandakaita dai ndakanyarara kudhara. Dai ndakutopfeka t-shirt yeZANU kaini.
Yes.
Dai ndatoo chairman izvezvi weyouth. Unofunga kuti uine simbi wakakutwa nerufu kaviri wamboisirwa muchetura mumvura ungarege kutya here kana usina kutumwa naMwari unotya. Pedzisira wakakumbira kuti ngatitaurira nechi, toda kukumbira regero zvakaita chipanga zvazva, ngondotsvagirai maiki nditaurire chikumbire regerero vanhu vese vachiona. Ndizvo zvinhu zvisiri kumbofa zvakaitika izvozvo.
Yes.
Mungatosara neguva rangu kwete mazwiwa. You are never going to get them. Even if they are to torture me today, I will die with this statement.
Yes.
I will never open my mouth and say I am sorry to Mr. Mnangagwa for rebuking him for his wickedness. That will never happen. I'm also confident when I speak like this.
Yes.
All right.